skims, and they're getting a lot of eyeballs.
Love it.
Let's jump into our top story. You no longer have to wear a mask at select areas across the UAE. Big news, the UAE has officially eased mask rules at certain public spaces. This was announced yesterday by the National Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management Authority, that's NCEMA. You no longer have to wear them in certain areas. The areas include exercising in public places, traveling with private vehicles with individuals of the same household, exercising outside, at the beach or by the pool, and when you're receiving medical or specific spa treatments as well.
The directive comes after a huge drop in recent COVID-19 cases in recent weeks. In the last 24 hours alone, the UAE has recorded just 318 cases. And it's worth noting, however, that when you take off your mask, you're still obliged to maintain a social distance of 2 meters. And that is still mandatory as per the UAE law.
It was an interesting one, actually. I was away yesterday, I wasn't feeling too well, and so much news tumbled in onto the news desk in Simran's lap. Expertly covered, as always. But in this one, I had questions because I already thought that I was able to walk outside, exercise strenuously without my mask.
So that is in the gym. Now this is in public spaces. Now a lot of people on social media had the exact same question, thinking like all these things were allowed, but it wasn't. So it was, most of them were allowed like under the sheets, like, you know, they weren't legally allowed. Like, for example, when you're in a salon and getting treatments done to your hair, something, you still have to have your mask on, but people didn't have it on. And it was something that was just like, okay, here, it's okay anyway, you'll get away with it, but now it's legally like you don't need to wear your mask anymore when
I think it's specific treatments though. It's not like if you're getting your nails done. I think it's like specific
facial treatments
and things like that.
So the other things that were mentioned are extra traveling in private vehicles. Now that was, you didn't need to wear your masks for when you're traveling with your family. That was one that's just been carried on. But exercising in public places is one of the main ones.
Yeah, and then it'll also be interesting to see how they roll out the pool and the beach. I think is very interesting because until now, I think you were exempt from wearing your masks when swimming, but at the beach you were still required to. So that's quite one of the big ones. And it's so great because I think on Tuesday morning, after the previous NCEMA press briefing, they basically said that all indicators point to a return to a new normal of life and business activities, and removing the masks in specific places is just getting us there. Like, I did not think we weren't going to see an end to these masks. Like, I have stacks and stacks at home ready to be worn, reusable ones and then like the cloth ones, you know. And I just thought that this is just part of life now, because it's to instill the reminder that the pandemic is among us. But I guess we're literally seeing such a significant decrease of cases at the moment. It's just been crazy to watch the numbers go down. And with that, the government can bring in these changes. So it's so positive.
And people were absolutely loving that the mask restrictions are easing. But like you said, with people so used to masks. When I traveled to Hong Kong many years ago, people were still wearing masks in metro stations over there and the airports. So maybe we might still see people wearing masks while traveling. And in really crowded public spaces, like I would still wear it in the metro.
100%.
Just for like for hygiene purposes now.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think we've just become so used to them, and very much see the benefit, apart from the skin situation. Will you be removing your masks at the places that you're allowed to, or are you going to be proceeding with caution, Ali? I'll open up Instagram to see your comments too.
I'm going to proceed with caution. Just be careful, and plus, I don't want to catch a cold.
This is the thing. It's bug season, as we know.
I had a cold. I mean, on Wednesday last week, it was raging, my cold, Thursday. And Ali literally comes in with a sanitizer spray, and he's just like,
that was a really good Ali.
I cannot do that.
You don't see Ali. That was a fantastic Ali. Well done.
But it's sitting there like, and he's like,
but it's so true. Masks and sanitizer, and then you just kind of, you don't want to get sick because you don't want to quarantine for X number of days if it can potentially be COVID. So we do everything we can to keep those bugs at bay. And if it means sanitizing our friends, and if it means wearing masks, we'll probably continue to do so.
Sanitizing our friends, it's come to that. But I love that there's still, the UAE is still imposing a social distance of 2 meters because who wants to be around humans? Let's be very honest. And
we're seeing some interesting comments come in, actually. Neha is saying she remembers Hong Kong too. Good morning, Neha. She always watches, I think. They would always wear masks. I really hope that with so many people entering the UAE for the expo, the cases don't go up again. Same.
Fingers crossed. But the UAE is taking all sorts of precautions. So you know that the UAE has it covered with social distancing and all that is needed for the expo. You need a PCR test, do a negative PCR test unless you're vaccinated to even be at the expo site. So, you know,
it's going to be clean air.
All precautions